The Jet Fuel by Hyper 26-inch BMX bike. I'm doing this video on the dimensions, the diameters for upgrades in the future for people that are going to consider buying it and if you want to upgrade it. So the head set is a threaded, and it's a 1-inch threaded fork. The cone size is a 32.7. The American bottom bracket, 25.4 seat post. The reach on a V-brakes has got to be at least a minimum of a 115 millimeter. You got a big tire that you got to clear. So starting with the bottom bracket, if you're just doing the bottom bracket, because these are pretty cheesy, as you can see, they're just a loose bearing. It is an 8-spline, 19 millimeter. So you just be you could probably get a profile, or I don't know if Odyssey makes one, and probably Black Ops makes a sealed bearing replacement. The chain ring is just a steel, as you can see. The arms are 175. This is the fork. It's just a regular old steel threaded. And the headset again is a 32.7. I'm going to actually upgrade some of this stuff. That'll be the next video. So as you can see, the walls on the headset cones there, they're pretty thin. This is a older headset that I had. It's a lot thicker. The bearings are bigger. Everything's just heavier. Now I'm going to replace this 3-piece bottom bracket with a 1-piece. Since Jet Fuel or Hyper wanted to give us an old school bike with an American bottom bracket and a threaded headset, I might as well just go old school too. So I'm going to go with a 175 arm single piece. I'm going to try that little sprocket. It's a little Salt 25. Heavier bottom bracket compared to the factory, the one that Jet Fuel supplied. Some VP, some old standard VP 550 half-inch. The stem is a 21 millimeter quill stem. As you can see, it's hollow. I've seen a lot of these Hyper bikes with these bent stems, so I got this old school quill stem. It says it's forged, eBay buy. Color ought to complement it. Short, but we'll see how it looks. I'm going to swap out, try to make that little 25 tooth sprocket live. This is a 16 from the factory. It's nice. This is what they supplied. It's actually able to remove it. It's a 16, so I'm going to try this little 14. 2 teeth. I don't know if it's going to make it adjust, but for a threaded freewheel, you know, at least I think this is probably the smallest you can get is a 14. Seat post, I'm just going to run that 25 for that. It's actually a really nice seat. Probably just a alloy rail type seat post. I might have one. If I can dig one up, I might throw it on there. Again, we talked about these V-brakes. They're just a plastic, so eventually I'm going to find a set to replace them. This plastic part does crack over time, and then you lose the adjustment on the spring underneath. There's your spring, and this cup that holds the tensioner and this little screw here, they just crack over time, and then you have no adjustment, no spring. We'll be shortening the chain up to run that 25. Here's the wheel set. It's actually a really nice machined aluminum hub. I just repacked them. Something you must do on these bikes is you got to repack the bearings. If you don't, they're going to fail. One video I saw on these Jet Fuels, somebody purchased one and they said it was tight. This one was actually loose this inside nut was loose, so I just took them apart, repacked them. It does use a 17 millimeter axle nut. One neat feature is they do supply these metal caps or nuts, acorn looking nuts on the end of the axles. Probably, I don't know if it's just to keep them from getting beat up, which is a neat feature. Nothing on the front though. Front hub's a smaller bearing, but they are both 3/8 axles. They're nice hubs. The wheels themselves are not real heavy duty. They're an aluminum, not real heavy. It's a 2.235 tire, which is massive. But the brick pattern kind of reminds me of the old Schwinn's. So the next thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to be throwing this back together, and we'll see how the headset goes in, and put the one piece on, shorten the chain up, and put it all back together and see how it looks. And I'm going to actually compare it to the next cheapest BMX out there for you guys to see. All right, more to come. All right, so I had to move indoors. We had a rain delay to finish it up. This is the jet fuel, again, 26-inch by Hyper. So what I changed out was I went to another quill stem, but an old school. It's a gold one. And I changed the headset out to a heavier, better quality. And I put a one-piece crank in it, took the 3-piece out. These are 175 arm, the VP 550 pedals, 25, I think it's Assault sprocket. Swapped out the freewheel to a 14. Really should do something about the brakes. They're really cheesy. This is a plastic back here, and it's hard to adjust, and they're just really not a lot of action to them. That's a 115, 120 reach on there, so if you swap them out. Next thing I'm going to do is compare it to the next cheapest bike out there. Inexpensive is this Highland Amazon buy. So this is the one I finished up a couple days ago, and that's a post I've done. And you got the jet fuel here by Hyper, so this one's around 300 now. I think I got this one at 250. They were really, as soon as I bought it, they were up to 300. Now they're probably going to go up higher than that. So for the cost of both these two, these are your lowest priced 26-inch cruiser bikes out there. And they're both 14-inch seat tubes. Both of them are. I was really surprised about that. This one's about a little over 22 inches in the top tube. This one's about 21 and a half. So there they are. If you got any questions on them, just go ahead and post it in the comments, and then please subscribe if you could, because I like to do more of these, and keep my builds coming out there so you can all see them. All right, thank you.